Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Becoming CEO AF podcast. I'm your host, Kimba Garcia.
And I am your co-host, Amanda Bell. You guys, we're so excited to talk to you guys today because we're doing things a little bit differently. Go figure, it's CEO AF, man. We don't sit still long. We wanted to come behind the scenes with you guys and actually introduce one of my personal great friends of a few years now. I met him what year did we meet? Back in
it's
2000. I would say about 18.
Something like that, yes.
Yep. 2018, I met Alex. He is the owner and operator of the podcast studio where we come to do a lot of our video content and our podcast for all of you guys. And this dude crushes it with the podcast. So Elite Production Videos in HEB, North Richland Hills, Texas area. Has a great studio. It's spacious. There's natural light. They can come in if you want it. He also throws up the unnatural light that's energy-based and plugged in, man. And so you're like, bright lights, spots on, everything looks good. And we're coming behind the scenes today with questions from our viewers and Alex to kind of fill in some of the holes that maybe some people have, or obviously some people do have, to help share more about who Kimba and I both are individually and more about CEO AF. So I'm super excited for this one. Alex, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you. And like Amanda said, my name's Alex Giles, owner of Elite Productions.video. We were in North Richland Hills, but we moved over to Hearst, which is just down the street. So if everybody knows, it's pretty much dab center of the Metroplex. So there's not a camera on me, but I'm the guy behind the curtain. So I'm pushing all the buttons to make these ladies look good. And so, like they were saying, we're going to take a couple questions that I've gotten over the past, 13, 14 now episodes. And one of the questions that I see pop up a lot is, how did you ladies meet? Where, when? That's got to be a great story. Let us in.
Oh, I love that. Kimba, share with them how we met in your version, sis, because I know I've shared mine a couple times, and ours looks a little different.
It does. So I think one of the greatest things is people always assume because of Amanda and I's natural connection that we've been friends our whole lives. And the truth is that we just haven't been. In fact, I first met Amanda, I believe 3 to 4 years ago. Which one was it? 3 to 4.
I think it was like 5 years now.
Oh,
see, I'm telling you, we're off.
Like either way, we met. It was originally on social media about five years ago because she is a real estate agent, a realtor here in DFW, and I own a roofing restoration and solar company. So naturally, our industries align. She's always looking for great vendors. I'm always looking for great referral partners. We liked each other energy on Facebook. We ended up meeting up at a local Smoothie King to just do a little networking event. If you're in one of our programs now, we call it the Greatness Tracker, right? But we are tracking our greatness and we're having great conversations with great people that we align with in the community all the time. It's one of the things that we're doing. So we were basically on a business date.
We were.
Yeah. And over a smoothie. We met. I actually remember one of the things about Amanda was that she is very timely. I think you had a meeting that you were going to right after that, and we sat there for about 30 minutes. It wasn't a long time, our first meeting that I remember. It was about 20 to 30 minutes. You had a meeting to run to. We were kind of like, hey, nice to meet you. Boom. But I just loved her. I loved her energy. I just really had a feeling that actually after our first meeting, that's whenever I started considering her to be a friend, off of social media, a real friend. And I was at a football game in Azle, Texas, because my son was playing a football game. And I was up in the bleachers with my husband, and I looked over at him and I said, Robbie, that's my new friend, Amanda Bell. And next to her, I noticed an old high school acquaintance of mine named Chris Bell. And I was like, Amanda Bell, Chris Bell, okay, are they married? And it's so wild because Chris and I literally ran around, and I say we hung out in the same crowd, we ran around together, we were at the same parties, we were always together in the same group of people through high school. And so it's so funny because where is Chris? He was at the studio today. I'm like, Chris, you listening? Because I'll be honest with you, I was like, man, how'd he get her? I really just thought so highly of Amanda. And not that I don't, Chris. And I'm so grateful because it actually built me a great relationship with both Amanda and Chris and the adult version of Chris, which naturally him and I had both changed so much since high school.
Yep.
And so to be able to rekindle a friendship and have a new friendship in both Chris and Amanda has definitely been a blessing and something that both my husband and I are grateful for, because now our husbands are also very close friends.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's crazy because Chris was the kid in high school, and I know all of you know exactly who I'm talking about if you weren't already him or her yourself. But the kid in high school who was super bold, a lot of times they weren't following any of the rules and probably just getting in fucking trouble, dude. Like, you guys know that person? That was my husband. Mm-hmm. And that was my husband to an extent that Kimba's mind could not see Amanda Bell marrying that man, because she was timely, she had meetings, she was growing a business, and that person that's scattered over there that's I couldn't listen to anybody, what? And the truth is it's been really cool to even do life with Kimba. Is like a relationship like with a spouse. So people are ever changing, they're ever growing, they're ever doing all the things. And that's where she got to meet Chris on that level. The really cool part is when I first met Kimba, it's been a night and day difference. I've probably seen Kimba rebloom, and I say that because every version has been super fun to watch. And it's every time she blooms, it's bigger and brighter. So I've probably seen 3 or 4 different versions of Kimba in the last 4 or 5 years that we've been knowing each other, essentially. And so to say I've known Kimba for 4 or 5 years, the truth is every time I get around her, I get to re-meet her. And that's the beautiful part about Kimba, is that she's not about to stay the same. So please don't think the next time you walk in that house, you're walking up to the same sis, because that ain't it. And that's what, for me, makes it a lot of fun, is you're always getting at something a little bit different, but without a doubt, it's always great. So that's really cool about Kimba and our relationship.
That was awesome. That's bringing a little tear to my eye, but that was good. That was awesome. That's awesome. All right, the next question that I'm seeing here that the people want to know. So you guys have done a lot throughout y'all's careers. So what is one job that you would never do, even for $1 million, even for one single day?
Ooh, I'll go first.
Okay.
Something that you just can't put a dollar on, for me personally. And I am going to go ahead and say Kimba because I just already know her well enough. For both of us, is anything that is not going to serve a purpose for our future selves. So anything that's going to be, I like to say negative because I don't want to hone in on what that is. But anything that you would consider negative, just know I already thought it's negative. So that, you can't pay me enough money to go take a whole ass journey down that. There ain't no fucking way. There ain't no way, because I know how long it's going to take me to get out of it. And then if I can't enjoy the money when I get to it, I don't want it.
I love that. Anything that doesn't align with our true purpose. What a beautiful answer.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say anything that has to do with rats, man. I just can't do it.
I might do it with rats, dude. I'll find a way to pay somebody else. I mean, if we're getting $1 million, we don't have to touch the rats, but it has to do with rats.
The one job that I would not go deal with a rat infestation. And I say that coming from, I'm in restorations, guys. I've been inside of demos. I have demoed out dirty toilets, okay? I'm brave. There's a lot of things I will do for money. I do like money.
Yeah. I've had rats run out of the houses that I've shown before. Across your feet. Oh my God. One time, I thought in the closet, they went to move the bag. There's a bag, like a gym bag, at the bottom of the closet. They went to move the bag to see how far back the closet went. And when they moved the bag, I thought this mouse took off running across the floor. It was a huge wolf spider and fast.
Oh, no.
But it was so fast, I thought it was a little baby mouse.
Wow.
I know. Talk about bravery.
It's fair to say Amanda and I will do some things for cash. Okay, we will do a lot for that. But I'm with her. Anything that I can't, at the end of the day, what we know is that money follows purpose, and that as long as we're aligning with things that we believe in and nothing that we don't, then the funds will follow. So it's just not worth selling your soul out for anything that you don't long-term align with. I love that answer, Amanda.
Heck yeah. Cool. All right, next one. The third one says, all right, COAF, the podcast, it's always telling folks great information. Now, who do you guys look up to? If there was somebody that you could switch with their lives, who would that be? Who do you guys look up into?
A lot. A lot of different people, man, for all different reasons. It depends on which version or which area in my life we're talking about, because just like we were talking about the wheel of life in the last episode, man, there's a lot of different spokes in that wheel to keep that life rolling in a smooth, nice flow, if you will, to the destination that we have in mind at the time. But for me, like, Disney is a big one, both in life and business, just always staying creative. Kimba, man, she shares some great business tactics behind Disney, behind the scenes with those guys. And so I do love them. I love the way like Nordstrom works and operates, and how they treat their employees and their customers would be another huge one. A little bit smaller level for business for me would be somebody like Russell Rhodes inside the real estate market. He's local to me. He's also a mentor to me. Possibly even Dave Murphy, who Kimba and I have both met with and done a little bit of business with. And he owns USA Eagle Carports here local, also a mentor of ours, and fulfills his 7 wheels inside his life, if you will. But who are some of yours, Kimba?
It's hard for me to put a label on one person that I follow, because I've kind of never been that person that's had a lot of, for lack of better words, I guess I'll call it like the star crush, or I don't really get, I'm very inspired by the people that I meet on a day-to-day basis. Some of the people that I follow on social media, the books that I've read, it's so hard for me to pinpoint it, because the inspiration that's came in my life through music, through different books, through different people that I've spoke with and heard speak, it's really just been a collective for me. On all those things. But like Amanda, what I have done is allied myself with coaches and mentors that have what I need in the season, right? And that's what I think that it's important for when you're looking at who do I want to look up to, who do you need in the season? I've always been a fan of, I've always hired coaches that could help me through, like, whenever I was trying to learn marketing, I would start absorbing myself in that. When I needed to learn more about finance and business, I would go more that direction. So for me, I don't think that I could say that there's been one person that I followed from here to there, but that it's been a collective of inspiration, and most importantly, staying open to looking for that inspiration in our day-to-day lives.
Yeah, I do love that. Great question.
I do love that question.
Forgot to turn on my mic there. All right, here comes the next question from our next viewer. Is it easy for you to show yourself love or speak kindly to yourself?
Yes.
It is.
What do you think?
Yeah.
It hasn't always been for me. So I guess I'll start on this one, because I definitely used to be the person that I would go to the gym, but it was because I hated my body. Every time I looked in the mirror, I would pick myself apart. In fact, that was the only thing that I was really looking for when I looked in the mirror, is what did I need to pick apart? I found myself constantly, my thoughts constantly told me that I wasn't good enough, that I just most likely wasn't going to be able to amount to anything. I was really big on telling myself, I heard myself say a lot once I started listening, that I just wasn't capable, I wasn't qualified, and that I just wasn't going to be good enough. And why am I even trying a lot of the times, right? And so I've had to completely switch that the other way, because the truth is, guys, a lot of us are out there talking uglier to ourselves than we would ever allow anybody to speak to us. I mean, I walked in the room today and Amanda goes, "Girl, you look boss lady as fuck. You look so fly. Look at your hair." I'm like, I have rain hair. Amanda is like hyping me up. And that's why she's my best friend, right? If I would have walked in the room and Amanda would start talking to Kimba the way that past Kimba used to talk to Kimba, I wouldn't even like her. I'd be like, girl, if I walked in the room and she's like, "Why do you look so fat today? Like, is your belly all poked up?" Because that's what I used to do to myself in the mirror. I'd be like, "Why are you fat? Why are you fat, girl?" And I talked really ugly to myself. So for me, I had to start making intentional patterns around understanding and reinforcing it with my language, that I'm at the gym because I love my body, and I'm capable to grow, and I'm capable of changing. And if there is something that I want to be different, I do have the power to change it. And I started to learn how to be my own cheerleader and to be my own hype man, because Amanda's not always here. Yeah. Amanda's not always with me. And it's been a pivotal part, I will say, I cannot say highly enough, a pivotal part of my success, was my self-love journey. It's why I share so much about it on social media, because it is impossible to truly love everything that you do, give your passion to your company, give your passion to your family and your friends, when the passion is not coming from your internal self-love. It's the only place we can find love. And so if you're out there today and you're even the one that asked the question, man, like, I want you to just start practicing being your own bestie and show up for yourself and hyping yourself up, because you'll start to realize that you're right and that you're beautiful and that you're capable, and that it's why not you, but it's why should it not be you. And you'll start to show up for that. And so I love that question so much, because did it always come easy? No. But is it today? Absolutely.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. You guys, truth be told, is I got tired of the Amanda that talked shit years ago. So I don't even 100% recall where I was or what I was doing when I got tired of her. But I know that she talked enough shit to me that I cut her all the way off. And so when I did that, I just don't even stick around long enough to listen for her to dig herself back out, is the truth. Man, she's not worth my time. She's not serving me a purpose in the future, and I'm not giving it to her. So for me, it's not, I cannot even begin to try and tell you what makes yourself be able to wake up and have the confidence and all the things to move forward, except for showing up for yourself, and don't allow the self-talk to get in the way. You just have to tell it to kind of sit down and take control over your own mind for what that is. But the thought audits help a lot there if you start to see them come up, because there can be different areas, I guess, where it will come up. But at the end of the day, man, I think just telling yourself you are worth it, and telling yourself you are all the things. And if you can't do that just yet, maybe practice on it.
And go back and watch the episode 12, I believe it is, overconfidence.
Yeah.
So that you can
100%.
start to tell yourself that you're a badass and believe it, because you're showing up with the decisions that badasses make.
Yeah. And if you can't, or you decide you feel like talking shit to yourself in that moment, because it doesn't have to be all day, but in that moment, feel free to picture Amanda Bell standing over there saying, nuh-uh, we're not talking like that today. Get it out of here. Because I can tell you right now, Kimba, myself, all of us will, a lot of the people inside CEOAF, they know that if they show up, they'll look at me and say, with their finger back and forth, nuh-uh, without me even having to say the words, because they know. Okay, that's enough. We're not talking about ourselves like that. So I don't care if you got rain hair and you are bloated, and maybe you did just gain 10 pounds, dude. I don't care. You're not showing up and telling me all the crazy things. In fact, I think you carry the weight well. Okay?
Did y'all see that Netflix movie, Hustle, with what's his name? That one line that really stuck out of that movie was, you're your biggest enemy or something like that. I can't remember what he was telling the main basketball player.
Yep. It did take me about a week to finish that movie, because I only watch it in minutes and then go to sleep, and then minutes again the next night, and then pick back up where I left off. So do you have the whole quote?
Man, I got to look it up, but definitely everybody needs to watch that movie. Shout out to, what's his name, Adam Sandler? Is
Adam
that right?
Sandler, yes. It was Adam Sandler, and I do recall there was like a lot of big name guys in Hustle. Did you watch it?
I don't think so.
So I want to say it just recently came out a few weeks ago. So it is a newer one on Netflix.
I'll have to go check that one out.
I think it's kid-friendly. It's got a couple choice words in there, but I think it's...
So does this podcast, Alex, to be fair.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, moving on. Let's see here. We're at about 20. The next question says, how long does it take you to really trust somebody?
Oh, how long does it take me to trust somebody?
Mine's pretty quick. I immediately start with trust, man. It's natural. It's my optimistic side, if you will. I immediately trust you wholeheartedly until, it's the losing the trust part with me is the harder part, because then my guard, I feel like, is naturally kind of up for a while, because the truth is if you can't trust yourself, it makes it hard for me to trust you, and the signs of not trusting yourself. But I will always, and that's my optimistic side. So I will always still show up for you. If you need me, I will be there. I'm also very direct, so I'll tell you my hesitations or my concerns, why I hesitate to show up for you. But the truth is if you're a little bit too far unaligned, I know I can't stay over there long. And so if you can't realign yourself in a way that matches what I believe in as well, which is positivity, which is creation, which is just living in a place of joy and happiness. And if you're in a different realm for too long, it just, the trust is harder to hold on to, because I don't trust that we'll be able to move together long term. And so for me, that's where I lose the trust. Though I always find it again. If you come back in a year, man, I'll trust you all over again until we believe that we're not aligned. There's that.
Yeah, I always lead with trust as well. And I think that one of the reasons why Amanda and I both do is because we do have such high trust for ourselves. And that's where I almost want to ask the person that asked the question back, is this something that you struggle with? And if so, do you trust yourself? Because that is something that I see in people that struggle to trust others. It's because they don't trust themselves. To in turn, people like me tend to forget to lock our cars, because I would never break into anyone's car. Yeah. So I'll forget to lock mine, and that's how trusting that I am. And I even know that the times that I get burned, the times that I get screwed over, the times that maybe I shouldn't have trusted somebody, right? What is more important to me is still keeping that ability. I don't ever let one person not allow me to be able to move forward with trust. I don't let one person breaking into my car. It didn't really remind me to lock the door anymore, to be honest with you. I don't let the losses be losses for me. In fact, I try to give the people that show me that they don't trust themselves, much less deserve anyone else's trust, some degree of compassion there, because, man, it's a hard way to live, is the truth. It's a lot better to just show up. And since I am the kind of person that shows up, I'm going to go ahead and assume that you are too. Yeah. Amanda said, until you show me otherwise, we'll have to move from that space when we get there. But I just want to invite anybody out there that does struggle with that. How do I know I can trust somebody? A lot of the times we got to dig inside of ourselves and figure out, what is it about us that we don't trust? Because otherwise, why are we displacing a distrust onto somebody else? Like, oh, you may do me wrong. Why? Because you would do that to me?
Yeah. Definitely peel that onion back, man. Listen to the last podcast.
Yep. Do we have time for another question, Alex? It's fun.
Let's see. We're at 22 right now. I think we got one more right here.
Okay.
At the end of a tough day, what soothes you the most?
For me, I get excited about going home to my family, going home to me, going home to the fur babies, going home to a place where I feel safe and comfortable and relaxed, taking off all these man-made business clothes and doing whatever I want.
Yeah.
That's what I look forward to. I also look forward to diving into whatever I want that's not on a calendar or a schedule is a lot of fun for me, because I do follow one so closely during the day. So being able to, if I want to be outside, I'll be outside. If I want to be in water, I'll be in water. If I want to be in my hot tub or my bathtub or on my couch, or I literally will go sit in my boys' bedrooms on their beds all sprawled out while they're just in their video game, or maybe they're already passed out on the bed and I'm just laying in there talking to a sleeping soul. Man, I'll do it. It's just kind of whatever I want to do, but it is usually at home.
I love that. And just following your peace, man. That's really what, after a long day, you should just follow your peace. For me, depending on, I guess if I'm calling it a hard day, it was probably hard. Like, otherwise I wouldn't even be saying that. I would have just already let it roll off as a moment. It's probably been years since I've had a whole hard day.
Yeah.
I've had some hard moments, but they usually just float on by and we keep trucking. But when I am feeling heavy, if you will, what I find myself doing is hot tub, one in the winter, in the summer or in the spring. I like to go out by my pool, pull out my yoga mat, physically start moving around, releasing some of that energy out of my body. I start to feel the crunches that happen when I'm getting into certain asanas and certain stretches. And it just makes sure that I'm not physically holding a lot of that emotion in. That's when you start getting those knots in your muscles and the stiffness in your neck, and you physically start to become the stress that you've carried through the day. And I'm very intentional about not becoming, especially as a CEO running multiple different businesses and currently building multiple new businesses and brands and everything that I have going on right now. I do have to be super intentional about not carrying it, not letting it stiffen in my muscles, not letting it cause the wrinkles and the gray hair and the disease that stress can cause. And that's why you hear people say, being a business owner will kill you. The stress will kill you. That's why I don't want to do it. You have to make sure that you're having fun and you're releasing. Having fun, release. Have fun, release. And you're kind of staying in that. So for me, I have this amazing sound system. I really like music. Amanda and I are both into like affirmation music, if y'all couldn't have guessed that. But I will crank up those speakers with my jams, and I will get out my yoga mat, and I will literally start to remind myself that I can flow, I can release, I can heal, and I can connect. And because I have the ability to do that, it doesn't typically turn into a whole hard day. I even keep a yoga mat in my office. Yep. At work. If I got to stretch out and do a quick downward dog, I will, man. Like I can't just be holding this in. Yeah. I've got to get it out so I can continue to connect with the creation that's going to solve the problems and get us over the hard times, right? And so that's what I like to do. Some meditation, some music, some yoga, some flowing. I also really like to jump on our boat, go out to the lake and surf. Yeah. That's another thing. Surfing, learning how to surf this year and learning how to let go of the rope and just cruising in the wave with just me behind the boat. It's been challenging, and it's one of those things where as you see yourself progress, even in extracurricular activities or hobbies, that's a great way to release as well, because you just start having fun, you start flowing, you start releasing. A lot of times it's just about breaking the thought process, right? So I used to always have a hard day. Every day I used to be hard. I'll share that with y'all. And to the fact it all the way manifested itself into depression.
Yeah.
Every day was hard. And when every day was hard, what I realized was we're just going to go back into, the things that we've talked about in the few past episodes that we recorded right before this one. The thought becomes the next thought and the next thought and the next thought. So sometimes it's really just as simple on those hard days as breaking that thought process for a second, getting yourself out of that funk. Like Amanda said, spending time with the kids, spending time on a hobby that's not on your calendar, or something that you wanted to build out that's not on your calendar, or moving your body or going and doing a sport. It can look different for everybody. But what we're doing here is healing, releasing, and then intentionally breaking a thought pattern and changing it. So if you've had a hard day today, we invite you to just follow your peace and just let it release into the universe and be done and out of your body. That's what I do.
I love it.
That was really good. That was really good. I think this last one has your husband's written all over it. What's for dinner tonight?
Oh.
Who's going first?
That is.
How'd he know that we don't cook and our husbands do?
I don't know. My husband, I don't know.
Chris, what's for dinner?
Yeah. Robbie, did you meal prep for everybody? No, I already know. So last night, we know what we had last night because Chris cooked us all wings. Last night. We had 3 different flavors of wings, and I did really enjoy that. Tonight, I don't really know what the evening holds. It's actually my big sister's birthday, so I better say happy birthday, Tabitha. Happy birthday, Tabitha.
While we're just behind the scenes-ing it here. So Tabitha, fun fact 1, okay, she is my older sister. We graduated from high school together the same year in high school. My dad married her mom when I was 9 months old. She was 9 months old. I was 16 months old. And so it was almost like growing up having a twin because we're only 5 months apart. Amanda does have a twin. Her and her sister are literal twins. Yeah. And the only reason why I can relate to your twinness so well is because I do have a sister that is 5 months older than me, has been my best friend since diapers. So I love you so much, Tabitha. Happy 34th birthday today, girl.
Happy 34, sis.
30 and thriving, man. My sister is also an entrepreneur. She just did a private venture with her company, and they just did a buyout where she was able to maintain some equity. And her new partners, the plan is to grow the company 300% in the next 3 years. So I'm excited and proud for her and her CEOAF journey as well.
I am too. Way to go, sister. I always feel like Kimba's sisters are my sisters, so we'll be like doing business or something. Kaylee is also one of Kimba's sisters, but she's also CEOAF's promise keeper, so like full blown employed with us. And Emily, Kimba's other sister, works for Kimba's company, RKG Roofing and Solar Restoration. So every time I see one of her sisters, I naturally walk up and I'm like, "Hey, sis," because like we probably see each other less than 5 times a year, like in person. But the truth is every time I see them, I'm so close with Kimba, I already feel like I know them. So I'm like, we're close. Y'all know that, right? Sisters?
Sisterhood. Yeah. I love it.
Guys, that was awesome. I've learned a lot. I hope all the people out there watching and listening learned a lot as well too. One last time, tell the people how to get in contact with you.
So you guys head over to our website, www.ceo-af.com. From there, you're going to be able to find your way to our social medias, our groups, back to our podcast, all of our different programs. We do have a merch line. We have a blog. And there is a plethora of information on our website to get in contact.
I got the website up right now. Keep it going.
There it is. There it is. Our programs outlining it all. The different services that we offer. CEOAF is an agency where it is our goal to umbrella together different resources that we have both obtained on our journey that's helped us go from owning our job to being the CEO of both our business and our life, because we are all about being the CEO of our life. That's our merch line that we developed around that. We do also help small business owners with branding through logos, websites. We have VA services. So there is a lot here, whether we do it ourselves or whether we have a great referral partner. If there's anything in your business that you're like, man, I'm really, yeah, girl, I do feel stuck. I do feel like I'm owning my job, man. There's probably some resources over on this website that can help you out. A lot of those are free. So we do invite y'all over there. And then from there, man, you can look us up on Facebook. There's not a whole hell of a lot of Kimbas out there, to tell you.
There's not.
So if you start with me and hit Kimba Garcia in the search, Amanda's all over my page.
Yeah,
right?
you'll find Amanda Bell right
you
after.
You will find Amanda Bell right after that. Go ahead and follow or send us a friend request. Sometimes we get to the 5,000 friend mark and then we go through and use our friend filter to knock it back down. But if you can't hit friend request, you can hit follow. We are also on TikTok, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, all the different social medias. And we would appreciate you guys following, sharing, just whatever your preferred social media of choice is. We do try to be active on all of them and just continue to, Amanda and I's passion, and we talked about this on this podcast, is what would you not do for $100 million? And it's follow something that's not our passion. Our passion at CEOAF is just, it so far extends business. This is not our main business. This is not how we feed our children. It's not how I say that, but it's becoming a very strong contender to our main business as it's growing so fast. But the growth is following passion here. And the passion behind CEOAF and the purpose behind CEOAF is to continue to raise a global consciousness around operating at a CEOAF style level when it comes to the vibrations in which we live on, the level of joy in which we live on, the human experience and the experience that is our lives. We design our businesses to fulfill that, not the other way around, right? And so we really appreciate those of you guys that have jumped on to that passion, because I shared with Amanda last week, CEOAF has become a ripple. There's just a ripple effect of people that are taking on this awareness and this knowledge and this movement that I'm calling it, and they're sharing it with other people, and they're spreading the joy and the wealth and the thought audits and the things. And every time you guys share our content or share something that inspires you or a podcast that inspires you, the ripple effect that you create with that is never ending. And that's what I'm grateful for those of you guys tuning into the podcast, for going to the website, for adding us on social media, because it's the ripple effect that never ends. When we can continue to raise human vibration together, we know that the human energy starts to manifest, it starts to co-create, and it starts to literally change the way that we live, and that our societies bloom and grow. The problems that we either have or the problems that we overcome and the solutions that we find are found in the ripple effect. And that's what Amanda and I are passionate about, of doing our part in the ripple effect and then bringing on people that are willing to jump in and be their part as well.
I love it so much, you guys. Of course, if you need us, you have it.
There we are.
Right there. Right there. It's beautiful. We appreciate you guys sticking around for Q&A with Alex and Kimba and Amanda.
That was fun.
Behind
the scenes, baby.
Yeah.
Love
Thank
it.
you for having me. Again, that's Alex, and it's eliteproductions.video, which is the website and the name of the company, too. So thank you. Big thank you to both you ladies. Amanda, did you get a chance to say your info, too, for all the peoples?
Oh, yeah. We're going to start with Kimba. She's an easy follow on social media, you guys. Kimba Garcia. Can't miss it. There's only one, I promise. If you found another one, add them both and then screenshot it and send it to both of us so that we can tell you that's the wrong one.
Which one's the real one and which one's a fake one. There you go.
Yep, but just Kimba Garcia, and I am all over her page. If you guys try to search Amanda Bell, you are going to have quite a handful. Quite a handful. There's a few of those out there.
Sweet. Thanks to everybody that's listening and watching too. And catch these ladies, wonderful ladies, on this next episode as well.
See you
Thank
later.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Guys.
EliteProductions.video offers professional production services for commercials, conferences, concerts, or podcasts. Contact EliteProductions.video.